He bought a ship on an asteroid for half a credit. Its secrets amazed the Federation. Jack Carter drifted through the dusty corridors of Asteroid Mining Station 69, kicking at loose gravel as he moved. The station was not much more than a collection of rusted metal plates and old containers, half of which seemed to have been abandoned decades ago. The air smelled faintly of metal and oil, and the soft hum of machinery made the silence less empty. Jack was used to these places. He had spent more years drifting from one small station to another than he could count, sometimes working, sometimes just scavenging what he could. He had no permanent home, no family waiting for him on any planet. All he had were the clothes on his back, the little money in his pocket, and his old, worn-out pilot's manual that he kept tucked in a small pouch at his side. It had been years since he flew anything bigger than a cargo shuttle, and even that was rare. But he liked to wander, and places like this always had something interesting, even if it was just old junk waiting to be forgotten. As Jack walked down a narrow corridor, he noticed a small crowd gathered near one of the old docking bays. Curious, he pushed through the people and saw what had caught their attention. Half buried in the dusty ground was a small, strange ship. Its metal hull was scratched and dented, but it had an odd gleam like it had been polished long ago. A small sign hung from the ship's side, swaying in the light breeze that came from the air vents. Sale, 0.5 credits. Jack blinked. Half a credit, that was nothing. Even a simple meal on a nearby station could cost more than that. Most of the crowd around him laughed at the sign, muttering that it was worthless junk. "Looks like someone dumped it and ran," one of them said. "Not worth half a credit." Jack crouched down to look at the ship. It was small, about the size of a shuttle, but it felt right. There was something strange about it, something that made his chest tighten with curiosity. He ran a hand along the smooth metal, and to his surprise, the surface felt warm, almost alive. The lights on the hull flickered, as if acknowledging his touch. "Hey," a voice called from behind him. Jack turned to see a station official, a tall alien with green scales and 4 arms. "That ship is dangerous. You don't know what it contains. Leave it alone." Jack shrugged. "Dangerous or not, it's for sale, and it's cheap." The alien growled something in a language Jack didn't understand, but he ignored it. There was no one else here willing to buy the ship, and the idea of owning something so mysterious for almost nothing excited him. He pulled a few coins from his pocket, literally a handful of old credits that jingled together, and handed them over to the human official who was handling the sale. "It's yours," the official said, shrugging. "Good luck, don't break anything." Jack grinned, half a credit. He could hardly believe it. With a few quick adjustments, he got the ship free of the dirt and dust surrounding it and rolled it toward a small hangar bay he had rented. Once inside, he could finally take a proper look at it. The interior of the ship was even stranger. It smelled faintly of ozone and metal polish, and the controls were unlike anything Jack had seen before. They were smooth, touch-sensitive panels instead of buttons, and strange symbols glowed faintly across the dashboard. He ran a hand over the controls and a soft hum filled the room. The ship's lights turned on automatically, casting a soft blue glow across the walls. "Hello," a voice said, soft and calm. Jack jumped back. "I am your ship. I am ready to serve." Jack froze. The ship was talking. Not through speakers or any normal system. This was different, clear, human-like, and calm. You're a ship?" he asked. "Yes," the voice said. "I have been waiting for a human." Jack's eyes widened. Waiting for a human? Why would a ship need to wait for him? I don't understand," he said slowly, his curiosity growing. "You are my captain," the ship replied. "I am designed to respond only to human command. My systems are ancient but fully functional. I will follow your orders and protect you." Jack couldn't stop grinning. Half a credit and he got a ship that talked and maybe knew what it was doing. He had never had anything like this before. His hands itched to press buttons, flip switches, explore every corner of the cabin. He sat down in the pilot's seat and let the ship show him the panels. As he touched the controls, lights flashed along the hull and a holographic map of nearby star systems appeared in the center console. "You have not flown for years," the ship said gently. "I will assist. You need only give direction." Jack laughed softly. "I guess you'll make this easy, huh?" "Yes," the ship replied, "but there are things you must know." "What things?" Jack asked, leaning back in the seat, curious despite himself. "The ship was built during an era of human exploration that is mostly forgotten," the voice said. "Its technology is advanced beyond current Federation knowledge. There are systems that can repair themselves, travel faster than typical warp, and protect the pilot against threats unknown. These abilities must be respected. Jack's brow furrowed. Unknown threats. You mean pirates or aliens? The ship hesitated. More than that, I contain histories and knowledge of humanity that have been hidden. Some of it could change how the Federation views humans entirely. Jack whistled softly. This was not just a cheap old ship. It was something extraordinary, something dangerous in its own way. But he could not resist. He had always been drawn to things like this, to mysteries and old secrets, and now he had the perfect opportunity. He spent hours exploring the ship, pressing every panel, reading every symbol, listening to its calm, soft explanations. By the time he stepped out into the hangar bay, the station was empty. The sun from the nearby star reflected off the asteroid's surface, casting long shadows. Jack felt a strange sense of excitement mixed with fear. This ship was more than he had imagined. Later, when the station's security drones checked the ship, they could find nothing unusual. No weapons, no illegal materials, nothing. Yet every officer who approached felt an odd chill, a sense that the ship was aware of them. They whispered among themselves, unsure why a simple human pilot could command such an unusual vessel. Jack decided to leave the station that night. He plotted a course to the nearest small settlement, wanting to test the ship's systems under real conditions. As the engines hummed to life, the asteroid trembled slightly, and a faint blue glow traced along the hull. The ship's voice came again, calm and steady. "We are ready." "Destination?" Jack smiled, gripping the controls with both hands. "Anywhere. Let's see what you can do." The moment the ship lifted off, he noticed its speed. It moved with a fluidity he had never seen before, slicing through the thin asteroid dust as if it were water. Maneuvers that should have been impossible for a ship of its size were effortless. It turned sharply, accelerated without hesitation, and even passed through weak gravitational fields with barely a wobble. Jack's grin widened. This was not just luck. The ship was extraordinary. As they left the asteroid behind, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that the station authorities, and maybe others, had noticed something unusual. He thought about the whispering voices he had heard among the docking officers. "If this ship is what it says it is," he muttered to himself, "then maybe I've stumbled onto something bigger than just a good deal." The first night in the ship was quiet. Jack slept in the small cabin, the soft hum of the ship like a lullaby. In the middle of the night, the ship spoke again. "Captain, I sense you have questions. Tomorrow I will show you systems that you cannot imagine. They are both a gift and a responsibility." Jack smiled in his sleep. A gift, a responsibility. That sounded about right. Half a credit for a ship that could change his life. He had no idea how right that thought would turn out to be. By the time the small settlement came into view the next morning, Jack had made a plan. He would explore the ship, test its abilities, and maybe, just maybe, keep it hidden from the Federation long enough to understand it fully. Little did he know, the ship had already drawn attention beyond the small station, and eyes across the Federation were beginning to notice strange anomalies where a simple human ship should have been. Jack felt a thrill of adventure he hadn't felt in years. For the first time in a long time, he wasn't drifting aimlessly. He was in control, and for now, he had a ship that could do almost anything. And that was just the beginning. Jack Carter had spent the night in the small cabin of his new ship, Frontier Dawn, feeling a mixture of excitement and disbelief. He could hardly sleep. The ship's soft hum was like a quiet heartbeat, steady and reassuring. When he woke, the sun from the nearby system cast a pale glow through the small viewport, lighting up the controls in gentle blues and greens. "Good morning, Captain," the ship said in its calm, human-like voice. "Are you ready to explore today?" Jack rubbed his eyes and sat up. "Yeah," he said, trying to sound confident. "I want to see what you can really do." The ship's panels lit up, and a series of holographic displays appeared in front of him. Star maps, system readings, and strange symbols he had never seen filled the cabin. Jack leaned forward, fascinated. "Where do we start?" he asked. "Anywhere," the ship replied. "I can take you faster than any Federation ship. We can travel beyond common routes. I can show you places humans have explored long before the Federation existed." Jack grinned. He had always dreamed of flying farther than the usual trade routes, seeing things no one else could. He keyed in a course to a distant asteroid cluster that was marked on the holographic map, but not in any official records. The engines hummed and the ship glided smoothly through space. Jack felt the difference immediately. The acceleration was soft and steady, not the harsh pull of regular warp drives. He tilted the controls and the ship moved as if it were part of him. "Wow," Jack muttered. "This is amazing." "We are only beginning," the ship replied. "There are systems I can activate that are far beyond current technology. I can repair myself, protect us from threats, and even navigate regions the Federation avoids." Jack's mind raced. Repair himself. Protect them from threats? What kind of ship was this? He pushed a few buttons and the ship responded instantly, bringing up a map of a nearby asteroid belt. "Watch this," the ship said. "Observe the movement of objects and how I adjust." Jack leaned back and watched in awe. The ship moved through the asteroid field like water flowing around stones. Small asteroids that should have been obstacles were avoided with perfect precision. It accelerated, twisted, and maneuvered in ways Jack had never imagined. "This is insane," Jack said. "No regular ship could do that." "I am not a regular ship," the vessel replied. "I was built by humans to explore and survive. I contain knowledge and capabilities that were hidden to prevent misuse. That is why only a human can command me." Jack felt a chill. He was starting to understand. This ship was not just old. It was advanced in ways that no one in the Federation could imagine. He realized that owning it was dangerous, but he could not stop himself from exploring further. As they moved through the asteroid belt, the ship suddenly slowed. A holographic display projected a small red dot ahead. "Anomaly detected," the ship said. "Unknown energy readings." Jack squinted at the screen. "Energy readings like a star or a weapon." "Unknown," the ship replied. "We should investigate carefully." Jack nodded. His curiosity outweighed his fear. He guided the ship closer, and as they approached, he saw a strange structure among the rocks. It was not a natural formation. Tall and metallic, it seemed almost alive, with lights pulsing in strange patterns. "Ship, can we scan it?" Jack asked. "Yes," the ship replied. Holographic beams scanned the structure and returned images and readings in seconds. "This structure is older than any Federation records. It predates even early human colonization in this region. Its energy signature is unusual. Caution is advised." Jack swallowed hard. "Older than humans?" "Yes," the ship said. "It may be a remnant of early explorers or civilizations long forgotten. Humans once traveled farther than the Federation realizes." Jack's excitement grew. This was exactly the kind of discovery he had always hoped for. He moved closer, and the ship automatically adjusted shields and navigation to protect them from debris. "Impressive," Jack said quietly. "You're thinking for yourself." "I am programmed to anticipate danger and respond," the ship replied. "You only need to give the direction." As they landed near the structure, Jack could see its details more clearly. The metal was old but well preserved. Strange symbols were etched along the walls, glowing faintly in the dim light. Jack's heart raced. "Ship, can you open any doors or enter it?" he asked. The ship hummed softly. "The structure is sealed. I can attempt to interface, but the systems are foreign. Human technology may have similarities, but this is older. We can try." Jack nodded. He followed the ship's instructions, and a series of panels opened on the structure. Slowly, a doorway revealed itself. Jack stepped through cautiously, feeling a mixture of fear and excitement. Inside, the air was cold, and the faint hum of ancient energy filled the space. He could see consoles, machines, and panels that seemed to move with a life of their own. The ship followed him, lights illuminating the path. "Ship, what is this place?" Jack asked. "This is a relic of early human exploration," the ship said. "It was hidden to prevent its knowledge from being misused. We may find valuable technology and records." Jack's mind raced. Hidden human technology? That could change everything he knew about the galaxy. He touched one of the consoles, and it flickered to life. Strange symbols and diagrams appeared, and a holographic display of star systems and unknown planets filled the room. "These systems, humans knew about them?" Jack asked, stunned. "Yes," the ship replied. "Long before the Federation recorded them. Some of these locations may contain resources, knowledge, or dangers unknown to current explorers." Jack felt a thrill. He was holding secrets that could amaze or terrify the Federation, and yet he also felt a weight of responsibility. These discoveries were powerful. They could be dangerous if they fell into the wrong hands. "We should take notes," the ship said. "Record all information carefully. The Federation must not be alerted until we understand fully." Jack nodded. He began documenting everything, recording holograms and copying data onto portable storage units. Hours passed, and the structure revealed more of its secrets. Ancient star charts, blueprints for advanced engines, and even early human designs for autonomous ships like Frontier Dawn. "This is incredible," Jack whispered. "They built ships like you long ago?" "Yes," the ship replied. "And many were hidden or destroyed to prevent conflict. Humanity chose to erase most of its own history." Jack shook his head. "I can't believe this. The Federation doesn't even know humans were capable of this." "Exactly," the ship said. "That is why we must be cautious. Knowledge is powerful, but it can be dangerous in unprepared hands." As they prepared to leave, Jack felt a strange unease. Something in the structure seemed alive, almost aware of their presence. The ship's lights flickered, and a soft vibration ran through the floor. "Ship, do you sense that?" Jack asked. "Yes," the ship replied. "The structure is defensive. It may attempt to seal or block access if we leave with the data. We must move carefully." Jack guided the ship out, moving slowly and avoiding potential traps. The structure seemed to react to them, doors closing and panels shifting. But Frontier Dawn adjusted instantly, shields protecting them from minor energy discharges. When they finally reached open space, Jack exhaled deeply. "That was intense." "Yes," the ship said. "But we have secured valuable information. Our journey has just begun. There are more secrets waiting in the galaxy." Jack smiled. He had always wanted adventure, and now he had more than he could have imagined. He realized that the half-credit purchase had been more than luck. It had been destiny. Frontier Dawn was not just a ship. It was a key to hidden knowledge, a path to understanding humanity's forgotten past. As they traveled to safer space to study the data, Jack thought about the future. He knew others would be curious, perhaps even suspicious, about a ship that moved faster, thought smarter, and contained knowledge far beyond current technology. He also knew he could not hide forever, but for now he had time. He had Frontier Dawn, secrets to uncover, and the freedom to explore. The journey ahead promised discovery, danger, and wonder. Jack leaned back in his seat, feeling alive in a way he hadn't for years. Frontier Dawn hummed beside him, calm and steady, ready for whatever lay ahead. And together they were unstoppable. Jack Carter spent the next few days studying the data from the strange structure. The ship, Frontier Dawn, hovered quietly in orbit around a small, uninhabited planet while he explored every holographic chart, blueprint, and record they had collected. He had barely slept, completely absorbed in the history and technology that humanity had hidden for centuries. "This is incredible," Jack said, leaning over the console. "They built ships like you, fought battles nobody knows about, and traveled farther than the Federation ever imagined." "Yes," the ship replied. "Humanity chose to hide its past to avoid becoming feared. Many of these systems were destroyed or erased from records. What we have found is rare and important. It could change the way the Federation sees humans." Jack ran a hand through his hair. "If the Federation finds out I have this, they might want to take the ship, or worse." "Yes," the ship said calmly. "We must be careful. They have resources far beyond what you imagine, and they monitor space for anomalies." Jack frowned. He had known that owning an advanced ship could be dangerous, but he hadn't realized how quickly the Federation might notice. He activated the ship's stealth systems, which Frontier Dawn had explained were far more advanced than regular cloaking. The ship could hide its energy signature, making it almost invisible to scanners. "It will help for now," the ship said. "But eventually they will notice patterns. Humans rarely travel like this. I can predict when they may begin searching." Jack nodded. "Then we need a plan. We can't just hide forever." As they moved through a quiet sector, the ship's sensors picked up unusual activity near a Federation monitoring station. A small fleet of ships was moving in formation, scanning space in a pattern that suggested something unusual had been detected. "Ship," Jack said, tension rising, "are those Federation ships?" "Yes," the ship replied. "They have detected an anomaly. My presence may have triggered alerts. They are searching for unusual signals or ships. We need to be cautious." Jack's heart raced. He had expected danger, but seeing ships approaching made it real. "How fast can we get out of here?" "Faster than they can track," the ship replied. "Follow my lead." Jack gripped the controls as Frontier Dawn accelerated. The ship moved with incredible speed, slipping through asteroid belts and navigating past space debris with precision. The Federation ships tried to follow, but the advanced systems of Frontier Dawn kept them just out of reach. "They won't catch us," Jack said, feeling a thrill mixed with fear. "This ship, it's incredible." "Yes," the ship said, "but they will continue to search. We cannot underestimate them." As they traveled farther, the ship revealed more of its hidden systems. Shields that could absorb energy attacks, engines that could jump vast distances almost instantly, and a defensive network that could disable sensors or communications. Jack realized that he was not just piloting a ship, he was commanding a machine that could challenge an entire fleet if necessary. Hours later, they reached a quiet sector where Jack felt a little safer. He allowed himself to relax slightly, leaning back in his seat. "I still can't believe this," he said. "Half a credit and I got a ship that can do all this." The ship's lights flickered softly. "I was waiting for you. Many humans might not understand or be capable of controlling me. You are different. You can handle responsibility." Jack smiled. "I guess I can't argue with that." Their brief moment of calm ended when the ship detected another anomaly. This time it was more serious. A Federation probe had entered the system, scanning everything in sight. It was small but powerful. "Ship, what is that?" Jack asked. "It is a Federation probe," the ship replied. "Its sensors are advanced. If it finds us, it will report immediately. We must act carefully." Jack nodded. "Can we disable it without being noticed?" "Yes," the ship said. "I have the capability." "It is risky but possible. I will guide you." They moved closer to the probe, and the ship's systems began to interfere with its sensors. Lights on the probe flickered, communications were scrambled, and it drifted harmlessly away. Jack watched, amazed at the precision. "That was easy," he said. "Yes," the ship replied. "But not all encounters will be this simple. The Federation will escalate if they suspect an anomaly. We must be ready." Days passed, and Jack began to notice patterns in the Federation's response. Ships would appear near systems they had just visited, probes would follow, and strange signals would be detected across sectors. Jack realized that Frontier Dawn's abilities would not be enough to hide forever. "Ship," he said one night as they rested near a small, uninhabited moon, "we need a long-term plan. We can't keep running forever." "I agree," the ship replied. "There are options. We could present ourselves to the Federation, but that would risk seizure. We could hide in uncharted space, but supplies are limited. We could also attempt to negotiate or show value without revealing our full capabilities." Jack thought about it. Negotiation seemed dangerous, but perhaps necessary. "Maybe we can prove we are not a threat," he said. "Show them that humanity's technology can help instead of harm." "Yes," the ship said, "but we must be cautious. Not all Federation's officials will understand. Some may seek to control or destroy us. We must choose carefully who to trust." Jack nodded. "I think we should start gathering information, show them that we can help, but without revealing everything." The next few weeks were tense. Jack traveled to different sectors, gathering data, assisting settlements, and exploring abandoned stations. Everywhere they went, Frontier Dawn's abilities amazed locals, but Jack was careful to stay just under Federation radar. He repaired broken ships, provided supplies, and explored dangerous regions that no one else dared to enter. In one instance, they discovered a derelict fleet, long forgotten, drifting in a star system. Jack documented everything, and the ship analyzed the technology. "These are human designs," it said. "They were hidden after conflicts long ago. Your discoveries will astonish the Federation, but they will also attract attention." Jack felt a thrill. Each discovery made him more confident, but also more aware of the danger. The Federation was watching, slowly piecing together a pattern of unusual human activity. He knew they would not wait long before taking action. One morning, while studying an abandoned research station, Jack received a transmission. It was encrypted but familiar. "Captain Jack Carter," the voice said. "This is Lisa Morrow of the Federation. I am aware of your ship and your discoveries. I wish to speak with you privately. Your cooperation may prevent unnecessary conflict." Jack felt his heart race. Lisa Morrow, the first human in the Federation to notice him. This was his chance to negotiate, to explain without revealing everything. He nodded at the ship. "Set a course to her location. Let's see what she wants." The journey was tense. Jack and Frontier Dawn moved cautiously, avoiding Federation patrols. The ship's sensors picked up several small craft following them at a distance, but Frontier Dawn's advanced stealth kept them hidden. When they arrived, Lisa's ship waited quietly in orbit around a neutral planet. Jack docked carefully, his hands steady despite the tension. A small shuttle opened, and Lisa Morrow stepped inside, her expression serious but not hostile. Captain Carter, she said, shaking his hand. I've been monitoring your activity. The Federation is curious and concerned. Your ship is extraordinary. I want to understand it before others act. Jack nodded. I don't want trouble, I just want to explore, learn, and survive. Lisa studied him carefully. I understand, and I may be able to help, but you must share some information. The Federation cannot ignore anomalies forever. If we cooperate, we can protect you and the ship, and ensure the knowledge is used responsibly. Jack thought for a moment. He realized she was right. Negotiation was the only way to survive without a fight. Okay, he said. I'll cooperate, but not fully. Some things are too dangerous to reveal yet. Lisa nodded. Fair enough. Show me what you can and I will help, but we must move quickly. Others are watching and some may act before reason prevails. Jack felt a sense of relief. For the first time, he was not alone. He had an ally within the Federation, someone who understood humans and their technology. Frontier Dawn hummed softly, as if acknowledging the decision. Together, they began planning. Jack would reveal enough to satisfy Federation curiosity, while keeping the most dangerous secrets hidden. Frontier Dawn would continue to explore and protect them, and Lisa would act as an intermediary, ensuring the Federation's attention did not turn into aggression. Jack leaned back in the pilot's seat, feeling a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The galaxy was watching, and his choices could change everything. But with Frontier Dawn at his side, he felt ready. The adventure was far from over. The Federation was now aware of him, and the stakes were higher than ever. But Jack Carter had never shied away from a challenge. And now, with a ship unlike any other, he was ready to face whatever came next. Jack Carter felt a strange mix of excitement and tension as he prepared to meet Lisa Morrow again. Frontier Dawn hummed softly, its lights casting gentle reflections across the cockpit. They had traveled to a neutral sector, far from Federation patrols, to safely discuss their next steps. Jack had learned that the galaxy was watching, and one wrong move could turn everything against him. Ship, Jack said, gripping the controls lightly. We need to make a plan. The Federation knows more about us now. I can't hide forever. I agree, Captain, the ship replied. Our path requires caution, intelligence, and timing. We may need to demonstrate capability without showing full power. We must gain trust while remaining safe. Jack nodded. Frontier Dawn had already proven its abilities beyond the Federation's understanding. Its stealth, speed, and defensive systems had kept them safe so far. But Jack knew it was only a matter of time before curiosity became confrontation. When they arrived at the agreed location, Lisa's ship was already in orbit. She boarded Jack's ship with her usual calm, professional expression. Captain Carter, she said, the Federation has been discussing your discoveries. Many want to seize the ship immediately. I've convinced a small council to allow a controlled demonstration, but you must agree to limits. Jack leaned back. I'll agree, but we can't reveal everything. The ship, it has powers no one can fully understand yet. Lisa nodded. I know. We just need to show enough to satisfy curiosity and prevent conflict. The Federation's attention is dangerous, but also an opportunity. Jack felt a mix of relief and apprehension. Frontier Dawn hummed quietly, as if understanding the importance of the next steps. They began planning a demonstration that would impress the Federation without risking the ship's most advanced capabilities. The following day, they traveled to an open space near a Federation station. Small ships gathered, scanning the area carefully. Jack could see the curiosity and suspicion in the faces of the Federation officers. Frontier Dawn remained calm, lights soft, panels glowing faintly. Ready, Captain? The ship asked. Jack took a deep breath. Ready, let's show them what humans can do carefully. Jack guided Frontier Dawn through a series of maneuvers that left the Federation officers astonished. The ship accelerated smoothly, made impossible turns, and moved faster than any Federation ship present. Shields flared briefly to show defensive power, and the ship demonstrated its ability to repair minor damage instantly. The officers whispered among themselves. Many had never seen technology like this. Some exchanged worried glances. The Federation realized that this was not just an ordinary human ship. Lisa stepped forward. This is Captain Carter, she announced. His ship represents technology humans have developed in secret. It is capable of great things, but it is under the control of its pilot. Captain Carter is willing to cooperate, but he retains control to ensure responsible use. A senior officer stepped forward, eyes wide. This is extraordinary. Are you suggesting humans have hidden knowledge beyond Federation records? Yes, Jack said, his voice steady, though his heart raced. This ship contains technology and information from early human exploration. It has been kept secret for centuries to prevent misuse. I am showing only what is necessary to prove capability and responsibility. The officer nodded slowly. We must study this carefully. The Federation has underestimated humans. Your ship and your knowledge changes everything. Jack felt a small thrill. Frontier Dawn's secrets were still safe, but the Federation now recognized the value and responsibility of what he had discovered. He realized that negotiation and careful presentation had worked. For now, trust had been established. Lisa leaned toward him. Captain, some officers want to seize the ship anyway. They fear its power. You must be prepared for sudden moves. Jack nodded. I understand. Frontier Dawn ready defensive protocols. Always ready, Captain, the ship replied. As expected, a small faction of Federation officers attempted to send a signal to seize the ship, but Frontier Dawn anticipated their move. Shields flared, and the ship executed maneuvers that disabled incoming drones and blocked communications. The demonstration had shown power, but Jack and the ship avoided causing harm. The officers were shocked, but they understood. The ship was clearly controlled by a human with judgment. It could defend itself, but it would not attack without reason. Slowly, they lowered their attempts to seize control. Captain Carter, Lisa said quietly, you have earned a place of respect. Your choices today may prevent unnecessary conflict, Jack nodded. I just want to explore, learn, and protect this knowledge. I never wanted a fight. Lisa smiled faintly. And you may have achieved exactly that, but the Federation will watch, be prepared. Others may not understand your restraint. Jack looked out into space. Frontier Dawn floated silently beside him, calm and steady. He felt a strange sense of pride. The ship had proven itself, not just in technology, but in judgment and loyalty. It had saved him and ensured that knowledge was respected rather than feared. The following weeks were a careful balance of exploration and diplomacy. Jack traveled to distant systems, documenting abandoned human outposts, ancient technology, and forgotten star maps. Frontier Dawn assisted him at every step, protecting them from natural hazards and monitoring for Federation interest. Lisa continued to act as liaison. She helped manage communications, ensuring that Jack's discoveries were respected without triggering fear. Slowly, the Federation began to see humans not as hidden threats, but as keepers of ancient knowledge and capable explorers. One day, while studying a small, uncharted system, Jack discovered a signal buried in the energy patterns of a dying star. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but the ship recognized it immediately. Ship, what is that? Jack asked. It is a human distress signal, the ship replied. Very old, likely from an early exploration team. We may be able to recover records and technology that have been lost for centuries. Jack's heart raced. Frontier Dawn guided them carefully toward the source. Hidden among asteroid debris was a small, derelict craft. The hull was damaged and lights flickered faintly, but inside were records, blueprints, and journals from long-forgotten explorers. Jack carefully recovered the data. As he scanned it, he realized the importance. This was humanity's hidden history, technology, exploration records, and knowledge that had been erased or forgotten. Frontier Dawn hummed softly as if pleased. This will amaze the Federation, Jack said quietly. Yes, the ship replied, but it must be presented carefully. The knowledge is powerful. Humanity has always hidden it for reason. Jack nodded. He contacted Lisa, explaining what they had found. Together, they presented the records to a trusted Federation council. The response was mixed: astonishment, curiosity, and a cautious respect. The council realized that humans had been more advanced than anyone suspected, and that Jack and Frontier Dawn were responsible in their approach. The balance had shifted. Humans were no longer underestimated. The Federation recognized that knowledge and power must be handled responsibly. Jack had earned trust, and Frontier Dawn had proven that technology, when guided by wisdom, could inspire rather than threaten. As weeks passed, Jack continued to explore with Frontier Dawn. The ship revealed more systems, more abandoned human outposts, and more technology lost to time. Every discovery was a step toward understanding humanity's forgotten past and preparing for the future. Jack often thought back to the day he bought the ship for half a credit. He smiled, realizing how fate had placed him in this position. A cheap, abandoned ship had become the key to history, power, and discovery. Frontier Dawn was more than a machine. It was a guide, a protector, and a reminder of what humans could achieve when intelligence, courage, and restraint were combined. One evening, Jack looked out from the cockpit into the vastness of space. The stars stretched endlessly, each one a potential discovery, a mystery, or a story. Frontier Dawn floated silently beside him, lights soft, engines barely humming. "Ship," he said, voice soft. "We've come far, but there's still so much out there." "Yes, Captain," the ship replied. "The universe holds more secrets than you can imagine, but together we can explore them, carefully, wisely, and responsibly." Jack nodded. He knew the journey would never end. The Federation was aware of them now, but respect had been earned. Humanity's legacy was beginning to be remembered, and he was at the center of it. With a smile, Jack set a course toward a distant, uncharted system. The stars glimmered ahead, mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Frontier Dawn hummed in response, engines soft, lights glowing. Together, they moved into the unknown. Humans had hidden their history for centuries, but now it was returning to the galaxy, carefully guided by Jack and the extraordinary ship he had bought for half a credit. The adventure was far from over, but they were ready for whatever came next. The galaxy was vast. Danger and wonder awaited. But with Frontier Dawn, Jack Carter was unstoppable, and humanity's secrets long hidden were finally finding their place among the stars.